The good news is that we have much needed rain in the area. The bad news is that we're starting a holiday weekend. The good news is that much of this will move out for that holiday weekend. I'll have your complete forecast straight ahead.
All right, Paul, the 4th of July holiday travel rush kicking into high gear right now. We are tracking flight cancellations, delays, and a tiny bit of good news on gas prices. Paula.
Hey, Karen. Hi, everybody. It's being called historic, the largest state budget ever passed in Michigan. It's going to mean a lot to a lot of people. We're going to bring it down to the street level. These stories and more are happening live right now on Local 4, First at 4.
And welcome to HOCKEYTOWN. Derek LaLonde speaking publicly for the first time as the new head coach of the Detroit Red Wings.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. Let's start things off first at 4 with the all-important holiday weekend forecast. And Paul, we are starting off with some storms.
Yeah, hey, Karen. Yeah, earlier this afternoon, we were watching these things develop, and meteorologist Brett Collar's back in the office with me, and we saw a lot of red on this radar, and we saw a lot of lightning, but things are starting to settle down. In fact, let me put this thing in motion for you here, because you can get a better idea. One, you see all that lightning, all that red, and you can see a lot of that lightning is going away. So now this is just general rain, and that's great news, because we desperately need this rain. We have not had much in the North Zone, but notice we're starting to get a little strip of rain right here developing, actually some thunder and lightning. So some thunderstorms developing, and they'll at least get some of us here in the North Zone. Temperatures right now, south of that front, south of the rain, it's in the 80s, but it's in the 70s where it's raining right now. Dew points, as expected, well into the 60s. If you're going to the Tiger game, it's not a matter of if they'll play the game. They'll play the game. It's a matter of if it's delayed at the start. I think it'll play uninterrupted, but in any event, temperatures falling through the 70s during the evening. I'll be back with that weekend forecast in just a few, Karen.
All right, thank you, Paul. Well, let's talk about the holiday, whether it's prices at the gas pump or maybe some cancellations and delays at the airport. The holiday weekend travel rush feels uniquely stressful this year. Devin Skillion in the newsroom with a closer look at how it's all going so far. Devin.
Well, Karen, airlines are outright telling passengers to just be ready for problems over the holiday weekend. So far today at Detroit Metro, there have been 14 flights canceled, but 97 delayed. Let's start with the highways and byways, though. First, a look at the gas prices drivers are facing as they're hitting the road. Price per gallon currently $4.97 in Michigan. That's down about 2 cents from yesterday, but compare it to last year, or don't, when we were paying $3.21 a gallon.
These road trippers this holiday season are going to be making shorter trips. 3/4 of our survey respondents said that high gas prices are having an impact. They're also thinking bringing friends along to help cover the cost of gas.
Yeah, carpool. Meanwhile, the FAA is preparing for what could be the biggest air travel weekend in years, and it's already been a rough month, of course, for flyers. 2,200 flights canceled just last weekend, 3,200 the weekend before that. Delta Airlines is letting all of its customers change their flights free of charge, saying operational challenges are expected this holiday weekend. And if you were with us yesterday, we saw pilots picketing at Detroit Metro and several other airports, saying that they are right now overworked. America's Transportation Secretary says the airlines need to be realistic about how many tickets they're selling.
Well, let's be very clear. The majority of delays and the majority of cancellations have not been caused by air traffic control staffing issues. Bottom line here is that the airlines that are selling these tickets need to have the crews and the staff to back up those sales.
Is staffing an issue for TSA as well?
Well, staffing is still a challenge I think for everybody. But for us, it's not an issue that's going to impact wait times for travelers.
Department of Transportation has issued record fines to the airlines this year. Agency says it's looking into other ways to hold the airlines accountable, but no specifics on that just yet. So we'll have more on the holiday travel picture coming up here on Local 4 News at 5. Karen, back to you.
All right, we appreciate it. Thanks, Devin. Well, we are learning more about the state budget agreement, the biggest dollar amount in the state's history. It appears that will translate to a sizable boost in education funding. Paula Tutman is live with more on where that money will be put to work and what educators are saying all about it. Paula.
Yeah, hi, Karen. So first of all, let's talk about why I'm right here, because this is where that money's going to make sense, and it's going to make a difference, and that is on the street level. We're talking about some really bleary-eyed people who are up probably since about 2 o'clock this morning looking at this nearly 500-page document, really crunching these numbers, figuring out what this means in terms of keeping the lights on. And when it comes to education, it's actually getting a pretty high mark. It is the largest budget in the history of the state of Michigan, a whopping $76 billion. Robert McCann is the executive director of the K-12 Alliance, which represents thousands of teachers, students, and school districts in southeastern Michigan. And yes, he was rubbing his eyes after going through that mammoth document, but he found a lot in that budget he could like.
A-. It's not perfect, but it's a strong piece of work.
These are the things parents and students will notice up front. A significant investment in special education dollars and the way they are allocated, moving from a rob Peter to pay Paul model of taking monies from the general fund instead of making monies directly available to address the needs of special education. This is something top-level educators have been yowling for, with an increase of $300 million.
The lawmakers have thankfully looked at what the actual costs are at the school level and have devised a new funding mechanism to ensure that those costs are better met, so that when a school is spending money on a special education student for the needs that they have, that those costs are reflected in the funding that they're going to receive from the state, to ensure a much closer one-to-one match that the state is going to be funding for.
There is $450 more in per pupil funding across the board, moving funding up to a base level of $9,150 per student. Now, this is great, but this is where that A got the minus.
The work of the School Finance Research Collaborative shows that the actual cost of educating a typical Michigan student is $10,421 per pupil. And that's before you add on things like special education services. So we're glad to see it getting a little closer, but clearly we still have a ways to go. But this is a good step in that direction.
And when you hear the phrase wraparound services, this is what $223 million means in at-risk funding on the classroom level.
I'm talking about anything ranging from reading coaches, tutoring, but also going into things like mental health support, having social workers available to students who, may not have stable home lives to help support their academic success.
Yeah, you know what? A lot of budgets are accused of kicking the can down the road. I've talked to quite a few experts today who say this budget actually represents a real investment. One more thing I wanted to bring out, that $20 million public schools audit, that's something that takes it out of the district's general fund, but it also means that schools that are run down or dilapidated, the state is going to take a look at those schools to figure out how to bring them up to code. Again, that's money that the school district doesn't have to spend. Stay with me. Coming up at 5, we're going to talk about more in the general budget, also what it means to construction projects to keep the state on the up and up.
A lot to unpack there this afternoon. We appreciate all of your time and getting all that insight. Thank you, Paula. Well, Falkwood Shores Golf Club is closed indefinitely, and that's because a fire broke out inside the kitchen earlier today. Happened just after 3 this morning at the course in Genoa Township. Fire investigators say the fire was contained to the kitchen and the dining room. However, it's not believed it was a cooking fire. Management says they will find a way to reopen the course as soon as possible. Investigators say the cause of the fire remains under investigation. Today, General Motors reporting its second quarter results. The company says it sold more than 582,000 vehicles during the second quarter. That's down more than 15% from a year ago. GM says its vehicle wholesale volumes were affected by supply chain disruptions, totaling about 95,000 vehicles in its inventory awaiting parts. In the filing, GM says it expects all of those vehicles to be completed and then sold to dealers by year's end. HOCKEYTOWN has its new man. Today, the Detroit Red Wings formally introduced Derek LaLonde as new head coach. LaLonde was introduced to the media this morning at Little Caesars Arena. He joins the Red Wings organization after spending the last 4 seasons as assistant coach with the Tampa Bay Lightning. LaLonde says he's looking forward to building relationships with his new team.
My success has been through relationships, and those first ones. So simple, I want to get to know them. I want to talk about some of their expectations that they have, or their expectations of them individually and as a team, and kind of get to know their why, what drives them, what do they want out of their self, what do they want out of their team.
LaLonde is no stranger to the state of Michigan. He was an assistant coach at Ferris State back in 2004. A Traverse City man facing charges in connection to the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol. 27-year-old Luke Lintz was arrested Thursday after prosecutors say he confronted police trying to secure the Capitol. The FBI says a review of video shows Lintz participated in an assault against officers in a tunnel. Lintz was released on $25,000 bond. He's due back in court Tuesday in Grand Rapids.